Well, hi, I'm Noah Bradley with Handmade House TV. Welcome to today's episode where we're going to talk about lime. Stay tuned. Well, hey, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about lime. And no, not that kind of lime. We're going to talk about lime, that magic special ingredient that really changed mankind, that allowed us basically to create liquid rock. It is that one special ingredient, whether used alone with some kind of aggregate mixed in with it, such as sand, or whether or not it is something we use today with other added ingredients in it, which gives us our cement. It is derived from either the grinding of seashells, shells, and cooking them into a powder, or it's used in the process of taking limestone and basically doing the same thing. Limestone is derived from ancient seabeds where eons it would build up in multiple layers and under pressure and under time. Mixed in with it a lot of seashells, a lot of sea life. Lime is full of calcium, which is the magic ingredient in lime. And so today most of our lime does not come from seashells. It comes from the mining and the grinding and the cooking in massive limestone kilns. Basically a hot fire is produced underneath the limestone. It causes a chemical reaction and the stone breaks down into a powder, and this powder is extremely valuable and useful for us today, not only in the world of masonry, in the creation of concrete, but also agricultural wise, that this lime is spread across fields, and it contributes to the alkalinity of the soil, properly balancing the acidity that is so common in so many pastures and fields. Now, historically, lime was a much coveted thing. Our pioneers who built log cabins, a lot of them didn't have access at the time that they were building the home, or the capability of the time to make lime, so they would frequently chink their log cabins using any kind of anything common to the property, whether that was clay and sand and straw and hair and moss and grass and you name it, all thrown together in a variety of mixtures. I've seen it all, and that this was daubed into place between the logs of a log cabin to keep the weather and animals and cold air out. Frequently this homemade mixture without lime in it would fall out or wear out or wash out, and so it was almost an annual event in order to chink, in order to daub our log cabins. But with the advent and availability of lime, which could be mixed into a sand mixture and applied, the durability went up tenfold or more. It made a much better chinking material. It does not harm, much like the primitive other mixtures. It does not harm our logs in any way. It's attractive. It's what we visually expect to see between the logs, and I choose to use the upgraded version of lime with additional chemicals added to it, which has given us cement of today. Cement is much more durable. It looks exactly the same. It's readily available, and I guess the factor that it just lasts for years and years and years with no maintenance. Again, I've seen chinking done the way I do it that's at 60 years old and still as good as the day it was installed. Now, when I salvage, when I restore vintage log cabins, I find a lot of the original lime chinking. I have seen some of the clay without lime as well. It's a pretty sad sight. But I do see a lot of the lime, and on a recent log cabin I did, I thought I would show you some of it. The lime is extremely crumbly, dry. The only reason it hasn't fallen out was that there was siding applied over the log cabin, which was basically holding it in place. Lime, and as far as its durability, it just does not hold up anywhere near as nicely as cement does. It's very crumbly surface. It tends to crumble away at the top, and then water can get in. it tends to shrink and swell, and cracks form along the length of the chink joint, and in these cracks water gets in and expands and contracts and starts to crack it as well. And the only bonding solution that was used with lime products, with lime chinking, was that basically it was applied, smeared into either chunks of wood or stone, and this bond generally breaks down over time, and it all falls out. Now, so lime chinking is historically accurate. That's a plus. It does not harm the logs, and it looks very attractive. So I have no issues at all with anyone who chooses to use lime in order to chink their log cabins. The argument that some folks that choose to use lime against cement, that will go against it, is they believe that cement is perhaps environmentally less environmentally friendly. But I think it's more important that when you create something, it's more long-lasting, more enduring. I think things are more environmentally friendly if they last a century versus lasting 5 years or a decade. And then the other argument is that there are some within the lime community that seem to think that cement will damage your wood. In the application of cement such as I use, where the cement is only a 1/4 inch thick, and where there's a layer inside and outside of a log cabin that's sandwiched with a lot of foam insulation on the inside, there's almost no exposure. There's only a little narrow strip exposure to the wood, and I have never once ever seen where the cement has damaged the logs in any way. So I think that wraps up my talk on lime today. Next week we'll cover lemons. I would like to thank 5 new members of the Handmade House Guild: Shannon Gherkin, Matthew Thaler, Joycelyn Buckman, Daniel Harkinson, and Timothy Morin. As always, I thank you so much for your kind words with regard to the Academy courses and all the benefits of being a membership of the Guild. And I thank you for the support that makes all of these videos possible. You guys take care.